Hi everyone, so today's video topic has certainly been an unscheduled one, but I felt it was a really timely point to actually have a talk about COVID-19 and the best way that you can arm yourself, and really that is naturally, because we don't have any pharmaceutical or great medical advancements at the moment that are getting on top of this disease in any way, shape or form. There is no vaccine currently and there is no actual treatment. It is simply symptomatic treatment, allowing the infection to run its course. So when I'm talking about arming yourself, it's arming your immune system, your body that you have, your best defense that you've got. Now, one of the things that has really come out about this particular infection and what's causing the bigger problem beyond the respiratory side of the infection is actually the systemic inflammatory response that's actually causing quite a lot of morbidity and mortality for many, many vulnerable people. Now, many of us have a baseline level of inflammation in our body at all times, particularly in Western cultures, consuming what we call the SAD diet or the standard American diet. You can have a high baseline level of inflammation, and inflammation can cause a lot of disease processes in the body. Now, what specifically am I talking about food-wise? So processed foods, high sugar foods, and those things like dairy, red meat, and gluten are all inflammatory foods, particularly in the context of having poor gut health, which is also a huge problem. So it's a really good time to try and cut down on those foods. It's a great time to consider really reducing your sugar. It's a great time to consider eating more of a plant-based diet and just making sure that you're getting a lot of nutrition from the food that you eat. Potentially also looking at maybe just doing an elimination diet at this time. So elimination diet eliminates red meat, dairy, and gluten principally. Also nuts might be in there as well, eggs might be in there as well, but even just a version of an elimination diet will really serve your body quite well at the moment. The other thing that can be really beneficial is fasting and having regimes of fasting. We don't want to overwhelm our systems by having to take from the finite container of energy that we have, pushing that into complex digestion. Then we're taking away from the energy that our immune system needs to function effectively. If you can imagine that you've got that finite pool. So if we're keeping the diet very, very simple, then we're conserving that energy and it can funnel into supporting our immune system and running that immune system very, very strongly, as it may need to do in the very near future for you. So that's a really, really good thing that you can bring in, something very, very simple, just bring some fasting in. Now, what are some other culprits? So stress, and that's really, really hard to talk about at the moment because obviously everyone is really stressed, but there's lots of things you can do to mitigate that stress. So things like just taking time out when you can, doing relaxing activities that give you pleasure, that maybe distract you. Things like meditation. Now's a great time to get on some of those apps and maybe get a regular meditation practice, and doing some simple yoga. There are a lot of classes available online, and a lot of studios, including my own, are actually now starting to do more classes online to keep people at home, so that we're keeping people a little bit more isolated to try and reduce the spread of this infection. So anything low stress is great. That includes also maybe going outside for a walk. You can go in a nice open space. You don't have to be in a crowd. Getting some natural light, getting some vitamin D, some fresh air, moving your body is fantastic for your overall health and well-being, and certainly to reduce inflammation in your body. Other supplements that you might want to consider, there's many, many out there, but really the baseline that you need to get is your basic vitamins and minerals your body needs to function every day. So focus on that first, definitely. Let's get that right. That may mean that you might want to start a good quality multivitamin at this time. Some extra bits and pieces that are really worth mentioning: zinc. Most people are deficient in zinc and do need a supplement in zinc, and zinc is very, very crucial for our immune system, so that's a really great one to consider. Vitamin C goes without saying, we kind of all know about that one. That's another one that you can actually increase your dose quite a bit for a short period of time without causing any major problems. Any excess in your body, you'll just pass out in your urine. Some extra weird and wonderful things that we hear less about is oregano oil. So oregano oil has been shown in clinical studies to actually destroy the wart virus, so the topical wart virus that can appear on the skin. Yes, it's a bit of a slow cure, but it certainly works. It's a very, very powerful herb, and in essential oil form, it is supercharged because it's extremely concentrated in all of its beneficial properties. Now, just be careful which essential oils that you are actually sourcing, particularly for ingestion, and you do not want to be doing this in large quantities. Personally, I do use doTERRA oils because they've got a proven track record. They're produced in a very, very reliable and scientific way, and the quality control is there. And those oils, when they're labelled safe for ingestion, they are safe for ingestion. However, dosage, honestly, oregano oil is super strong. It's not very delicious. So what you want to be thinking is 1 or 2 drops in quite a large amount of water that you'll drink over the course of your day. Another one, anti-inflammatory superstar, is turmeric. So turmeric is amazing, but the big mistake people are making with turmeric is they're just having turmeric and the bioavailability is not very high. Bioavailability means your ability for your body to actually absorb and assimilate all the goodness in that particular spice. What you need to pair it with is black pepper. Simple and easy. Make sure those two go together and you'll be getting all the goodness out of that anti-inflammatory turmeric. Now, I want to talk about mindfulness briefly as well. I think there's a great opportunity here to start being more mindful. Now, hand washing is really being talked about extensively, and yes, it is important. But what's even more important is what you're doing with your hands. I talk with my hands, they're moving all the time, but I want you to really start thinking about not touching your nose, your eyes, your ears, your mouth. If you have virus or anything on your hands, it's not going to go through your skin. Your skin is your best defense that you have, but it needs to get through mucous membranes, and those openings in our body, most of those orifices on our face, they're a big target area. And with a virus like COVID-19 that is transmitted in respiratory droplets, this is a prime zone that we really need to take care of. So be very mindful about where your hands are at all times. Finally, rest and sleep. You've got to rest and sleep. It's so important. So make sure that you're getting plenty of rest and sleep. It's really, really key to help your stress levels stay low and to give your body that time to rest and revive so that you're actually able to have your immune system harness its full power if and when it needs to. I hope those tips have been helpful for you. There is so much we can be doing at an individual level to really protect ourselves and our loved ones during this really, really quite worrying time. So take care of yourself. I hope that's been helpful, and we'll be talking to you hopefully on a more positive topic soon. Take care.